I need you to listen to this carefully, not loudly, not casually, because this isn't a story you hear. It's a story that settles into you and refuses to leave. My name is Clara Jensen, and one night, in complete darkness, I gave my body to the wrong man without ever knowing it. I live in Helsingør, Denmark, a quiet coastal town where the sea never stops moving, where ferries cross the water like slow thoughts you can't interrupt, where another country stares back at you across the sound, close enough to touch but impossible to reach. People come here for peace. They say it's beautiful. They say it feels safe. But mirrors don't only reflect beauty. They reflect mistakes. They reflect truths you didn't consent to seeing. They reflect everything you never knew could happen to you. I was born a twin. My sister Kara arrived less than a minute after me. Same face, same voice, same breath. Growing up, people confuse us constantly. Friends, teachers, strangers on the street. Sometimes even our parents paused before saying our names, their eyes flicking between us like they were choosing a door that mattered. The only difference between us was a tiny freckle behind her left ear. That freckle became proof that I was not her, proof that we were two separate lives. We shared everything else, bedrooms, secrets whispered at night, dreams about who we would become. When one of us cried, the other felt it without being told. When one of us laughed, the other softened. When one of us fell, the other learned to brace for it. People joke that twins always live the same life. Same schools, same milestones, same endings. We laughed when they said that. We didn't understand that repetition can become a trap. We met Kyle and Kevin Sørensen in our 20s, twin brothers, identical in ways that felt almost intentional. Same height, same shoulders, same calm voices when they weren't standing side by side. Kyle fell in love with me. Kevin fell in love with Kara. Or maybe we simply aligned the way symmetry demanded, like pieces placed where they fit best, not where they were safest. We married in one ceremony, 2 brides, 2 grooms, 1 altar. The vows sounded like echoes spoken into a cave. The rings were identical. The photographs looked unreal, like a mirrored image copied twice. I remember standing there thinking that nothing this perfect could ever break. Perfection doesn't bend, it waits, then it shatters. We built one house together on Winkelstrata, a narrow cobblestone street lined with apple trees that dropped fruit every autumn like quiet offerings. 2 families under one roof, shared dinners, shared holidays, shared lives woven so tightly you couldn't see where one ended and the other began. Kyle and Kevin ran their construction business together. Kara and I built our floral company from home. We arranged beauty for other people's weddings, choosing colors and textures, speaking about love like we understood it completely. But we didn't understand that love can be blind, and blindness can hide itself inside the most ordinary nights. Then the children came, my son Elias, her daughter Ella, born only weeks apart. Same soft hair, same curious eyes. They look like siblings. People smiled when they saw us. They called us lucky. They said some families were just blessed. Luck never announces when it leaves. Luck doesn't knock. Luck doesn't forgive. Elias was 2 when his cough began. At night, deep, wet, like something inside his chest was fighting for air. I stayed awake counting his breaths, my hand rising and falling with his back, promising him safety even when I didn't know what that meant anymore, promising myself safety I would never have. Doctors said it was probably nothing. Then they said, just to be careful, genetic testing. routine, simple. Kyle held Elias during the blood draw. He hummed softly, steady and calm, the way he always did when something scared our son. I watched them and thought, this is what forever looks like. This is what stability feels like. The doctor didn't look at me when she spoke. She stared at the papers as if they might rearrange themselves. The DNA doesn't match. I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because my mind refused to accept the sentence. We tested again and again. Same result. Then she said the sentence that erased my life. His twin brother is a match. Kyle went completely still, like a man hearing a language he would never understand again. I felt cold everywhere, as if my body had stepped outside without me. I wanted to scream that it wasn't possible, that I would have known, that I loved my husband, but truth doesn't care what kind of woman you think you are. The memory returned slowly, like something crawling out from under rubble. November. A storm strong enough to swallow the town. Wind screaming through the trees. Rain hammering the windows until the glass shook. Then the power went out. Total darkness. The house smelled like wet wood and cedar cologne. The same cologne both brothers wore. I had a migraine so bad my vision blurred. I took my medicine. I lay down without turning on a light. Then the bed shifted. Arms wrapped around me, warm, familiar. A voice whispered softly behind me, low and gentle, saying my name the way love always does. I didn't see his face. I didn't question it. In the dark, everything felt right. That night, my son was conceived. He thought I was Kara. I thought he was Kyle. The darkness didn't care who we were. It only cared that bodies remembered warmth. It only cared that mistakes could happen in silence. When the truth came out, no one screamed. The house filled with something heavier than noise. Kyle moved into the guest room. Kevin couldn't look at me without shaking. Kara stopped speaking entirely, like words had betrayed her too. Kevin cried when he confessed. He said he would never have touched me if he'd known. He said the guilt would follow him forever. I believed him. Belief didn't save anything. Kyle stopped touching me as if my skin had been claimed by another reality. Weeks later, he said quietly that he didn't know how to look at me without seeing his brother. That sentence stayed inside me. It still does. Kara left with her daughter. No accusations, just distance. That felt permanent. Watching her car disappear down Finkelstrasse, Walby felt like losing half of my reflection. The town found out. They always do. People whispered in cafes, at daycare, at the harbor. They said we mixed up our husbands, like it was funny, like it was gossip. No one asked what it feels like to lose your marriage, your sister, your sense of self, all at once. Kyle left before sunrise one morning. No goodbye, just the sound of his car dissolving into fog. 2 weeks later, divorce papers arrived. I signed them alone at the kitchen table. Aaliyah sat beside me coloring, drawing a family holding hands under one roof that no longer existed. Years passed. Elias grew. He laughs like Kyle. He looks like Kevin. He calls one daddy and the other uncle. No one corrects him. Some truths are too heavy to place on a child's chest. Kara and I speak again, but something between us will never fully heal. Kevin carries guilt everywhere he goes. Kyle waves from across the harbor with his new family. We are polite strangers now, connected only by history and blood. And me. I still live on Finkelstrasse, same house, same mirrors. Some nights, when the wind sounds like that storm, sleep never comes. I replay the moment again and again, not because I want to remember, but because my body refuses to forget. I don't believe in fate anymore. I believe in fragile systems, in how easily love collapses when everything looks the same. If the lights hadn't gone out, if I had reached for the lamp, if sameness wasn't so convincing. But life doesn't let you rewrite scenes. It only lets you live inside their echoes. And this is the truth I wake up with every day. The night my son was conceived, love wasn't absent. It was mistaken. And some mistakes don't end. They don't fade. They stay with you. Breathing, watching, waiting.